I see people rising up. I see people less afraid and more willing to get involved and make a difference than ever before. And so that's very exciting and very wonderful. This legalization, this pseudo-legalization the Liberals are bringing in is just the first of a long process. As long as there's people in jail for cannabis, we are not satisfied. This will continue as long as we cannot grow and share and sell our cannabis under reasonable regulations. We are not satisfied. I certainly am not satisfied. And I can't believe I'm living in a country where murderers and rapists and violent criminals are having their charges dropped because our court system is too overcrowded. But they can still find room for the seed giveaways and the dispensaries and the cannabis charges. That makes no sense at all. Whatever you think of cannabis, that is a messed up situation to be in, and we're going to change that.
Cannabis rights aren't just cannabis rights. It's not just the right to smoke weed. Cannabis rights are civil rights. This is what we deserve in a free society. If you look at what's happening in the Philippines right now, that is a civil rights issue. That is why we have to march, not just for what's happening here. Even if you don't smoke weed, you need to say something about it. It is a civil rights issue. That's right. That's my biggest problem with prohibition. And the thing is, with the legislation proposed, without granting amnesty, that is still a problem for all those people. We can argue about how tall we want our plants to be, but we need to remember that there are still people in cages right now. And people are still being threatened to be put in cages right now. The same people who are the reason why we're even having this legislation discussed. That is the government criminalizing their competition, and it is wrong, and we need to say something about it so that we can be free, so that minorities can stop being targeted by the police for a peaceful plan, and so that we can finally be happy and not have to live in fear.
We've been raided ourselves in Toronto. They've shut down many of our stores. They've wasted our tax resources. It's been just amazingly wasteful. And so we're at the point now where we're calling it criminal misuse of public resources. The Allard decision stated very emphatically that reasonable access, I would call this reasonable access right here, not having to get into your wheelchair and go down the freeway looking for bloody weed.
You're going to be allowed to have some cannabis on you. 30 grams you can carry with you. Isn't that nice of these people to let you have 30 grams of what is one of the most beneficial and useful plants on the planet? Your public servants are going to let you have 30 grams. Don't have more than that or you're a criminal again. You're not allowed to take your plants outside and show them to anybody or you're a criminal again. If you got seeds on you, well, you better only have 30 or you're a criminal again. And if you have a brother who's younger than 18 and you supply him with cannabis, well, you're going to be a criminal for that too. In fact, if you give your brother whiskey, you're probably not going to get more than a slap on the wrist. But if you give that younger brother of yours some cannabis, you could be looking at 14 years in jail. I don't think that's going to happen. But there should be no jail time for anything to do with pot.
That's what their picture of legalization of dispensaries looks like, closing the vast majority of them. And Justin Trudeau says he's going to legalize marijuana, but unfortunately, his legalization scheme isn't for all Canadians. His scheme is full of flaws. His scheme still says that you'll have to buy your marijuana from one of these licensed producers, these big stock market weed companies, who we are finding out are filling their pot with banned pesticides that are actually hurting people. For the first time, marijuana is actually hurting people because of the crap these big corporations are putting into it. So don't believe the trick that the government's playing. When they say they're going to legalize things, yes, it's a good step, a big step forward, and we're on a path, but we have to work now harder than ever to make sure it's actually legalization.
That's what marijuana, cannabis, hemp means to me, is world peace